Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Erin, and today for this all levels yoga class, the only thing that I would recommend you possibly having, if you have any sensitivity for your knees, is either a little mat or a blanket would do as well. Other than that, all you will need is your mat to get started. So we're going to come to a cross-legged position, sitting up nice and tall. And for starting out for this class, I'm going to do a breathing exercise with you. That is a energizing breathing exercise. It's a right nostril breathing. So there's two options on how to do it. I'll show you the first one. So it's simply just closing your left nostril with your left thumb and just breathing in and out through your right nostril. So you can go ahead and try it. So that's option one. The second option is to breathe in through your right. So you breathe in through your right nostril while closing your left. Then you would simply use your index finger, close your right nostril, and breathe out through your left. And then you would close your left nostril, breathe in through your right. So those are the two options. You can choose whichever one you like better. We're just going to do it for just a few minutes. See how you go. And it's totally okay if you mess up here. Point is really just to focus in on your breath. You can have your eyes open or closed. Just 30 more seconds. And take a full breath in through your both nostrils. We're going to hold it for count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and then breathe out through both of your nostrils. Now we'll start with some small movements here. We're going to start with some shoulder rolls. So inhale, bringing your shoulders up, and then exhale, bringing them back and down. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, bringing them back and down. 1 more time. And then we'll do it in the opposite direction. So inhale, bring your shoulders up, rolling them forward. Do it 2 more times. Shoulders up, roll them forward. 1 last time. We'll start with some neck rolls, bringing your right ear to your right shoulder, and then slowly turning your chin towards your chest, and then rolling all the way over to your left. Inhale, coming back to center. Then we'll go the opposite way. Left ear, left shoulder, chin to chest. Slowly roll all the way over to the right. And then inhale, coming back to center. We'll start with some side bends. Inhale, we'll bring our arms up. Exhale, we'll drop our left hand down as we reach all the way over to our left side. Still maintaining that nice long spine. Inhale brings us back up. Exhale, going to your right, reaching all the way over. Next inhale, coming back to center. Then we'll go again. Left hand down, reaching all the way over to your left side as you exhale. Inhale, coming up to center. Exhale, right hand down, reaching all the way over to your right side. Next inhale brings you back up. One last time. Reaching all the way over to our left. Inhale, coming up to center. Exhale, right hand down, reaching all the way over to our right. Inhale, coming to center. This time coming for a twist. So rotating your torso all the way to the right, bringing your right hand to your left knee. Left hand spins back behind you for support as you exhale and twist to your left. Not going too far here. On your next exhale, you're going to slowly unwind, coming back to center. And we'll go the other way. As you exhale, bringing your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind you for support. And slowly, as you exhale, rotating to your right. And then on your next exhale, slowly unwind, coming back to center. And from here, we're going to transition to our hands and knees, coming to a tabletop position. If your knees are sensitive, you can go ahead and grab your blanket or your mat. Setting up for a tabletop position, you can have your toes tucked or untucked. You want to have your knees in line with your hips, and you want to have your hands spread wide, your fingertips are wide, and your hands are flat on your mat. Your shoulders are tracked over your wrists. We're going to come to our cat-cows. So on our inhale, we're going to drop our belly down. Our tailbone comes up. Our head and chest lift up as we inhale. Then we're going to reverse that, dropping our head down, bringing our belly button to our spine as we arch through our back, rounding our spine. Our tailbone comes down. Then we'll reverse it again, dropping our belly down, lifting our head and chest as we inhale, coming back to our cow. Coming to our exhale, dropping our head down, belly button comes to your spine, rounding through your back. Inhale one last time, coming back to our cow, dropping our belly down. And then belly button to spine, letting our head drop down as we exhale. And then coming to neutral spine. We're going to bring our big toes together. So untucking your toes, bring your big toes to meet. Bring your knees out a little bit wider than your hips. And slowly pushing your hips towards your heels. Your hands can stay where they are, and then you're simply just going to come between your legs and resting your forehead all the way down onto your mat. And then just giving yourself a moment here, tuning into your breath. On your next inhale, slowly coming up, we're going to tuck our toes, and from here we're going to transition to downward facing dog. So making sure your fingers are spread out wide, your hands are flat. We're going to lift our hips, bringing them up and back, coming to downward facing dog. If your heels don't touch your mat, that's okay. We want to spin the creases of our elbows out. Let our head hang. Push your hips up and back. If there's any strain on the back of your legs, you can always bend your knees here for to relieve any of that tension you have. From here, we are going to pedal. So if you already have your knees bent, bend one knee a little bit even more and try to straighten out your other leg. Then we'll do the opposite, bending the other knee while you straighten out the opposite leg. Do that a couple times, just pedaling, going slow. Now that we've done that a couple times, we're going to come to stillness. And we're going to slowly bend your knees, walk your hands towards your feet, doing a little inchworm here. Coming all the way to the back of your mat. We're going to fold, so bending your knees a lot. And then on your next inhale, you're going to slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, taking your time. When your head is up, bring your arms up overhead. And then pressing firmly into your feet, hinging from your hips. As you exhale, fold back down. Coming all the way down. Inhale, we're going to slowly come halfway up. So our back is nice and flat and elongated. As you exhale, folding over your legs, we're going to walk our hands back out. So walking our hands back out. Coming back to our downward facing dog just for a moment. Coming up on our toes, we're going to slowly walk our hands to our feet this time. Again, giving yourself a moment to pause here, folding over your legs. And then on your next inhale, slowly rolling back up, coming all the way back up to standing, head up, arms up overhead. Taking an inhale here, and then as you take your next exhale, hinging from your hips and slowly folding back down. Inhale, slowly lift halfway up. You can rest your hands on your shins, maybe they're on your thighs, having a nice long back here. Next exhale, coming back down, folding over your legs, hands on the floor. We're going to step our right foot back, bringing our knee down, coming to our low lunge. If you do have any sensitivity on your knees, you can use your blanket or your mat here. You want to make sure you have your front foot flat on your mat and your back foot either. You can have your toes tucked or untucked, whichever one works better for you. Using your left leg as support, coming all the way up. Maybe you keep your hands on your left leg for support, or maybe you bring one hand up, maybe you bring both, whichever is more comfortable for you. Tuning back into our breath here. On your next exhale, hands come down, Slowly bring your left leg back to meet your right. Walking your hands forward, coming to a supported plank pose. From here, we're going to slowly lower all the way down, setting up for cobra pose. Having our fingertips right underneath our shoulders, elbows in towards your body, pressing firmly into the backs of your feet, or tops of your feet rather. On your next inhale, we're going to lift our head and chest up, just coming up to a low cobra. On your next exhale, slowly come all the way back down. Inhale, tuck your toes, push your hips up and back, coming to downward facing dog. And then be careful of what's behind you. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, slowly bring it through between your hands. If you have to scooch it forward a little bit, that's totally fine. Drop your left knee down. Coming to low lunge with our right leg forward. Option to use your leg as support as you come all the way up. Maybe you bring one arm up, maybe you bring both. Tuning back into your breath, making sure you have that front foot flat and knee right over your ankle. Take one more breath here. Hands come down. We're going to step forward, so tucking your back foot, lifting it up, and then stepping forward so your left foot meets your right. Fold, and then slowly roll all the way up to standing. Head up, arms up, taking our time here. On your next exhale, we're going to fold, hinging from our hips, coming all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift, long straight back. Exhale, fold. This time, stepping back with our left foot, bringing your knee down. Option to use your front leg as support. Again, you want to make sure you have your right foot flat on your mat. Your knee is right over your ankle. Maybe you come up hands free this time, or maybe you use your leg for support. Remember, whatever option is working best for you today, choose that option. Tuning back into your breath. Exhale, hands down. Bringing your right knee to meet your left, coming back to your supported plank. Slowly lowering yourself all the way down onto your belly. Setting up for your cobra pose. Fingertips under your shoulders, elbows in, pressing firmly into the top of your feet. On your next inhale, slowly lift your head and chest. Take a breath there. And then next exhale, slowly bringing you back down. Inhale. Push yourself up and back. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. On your next inhale, be careful of what's behind you, lifting your left leg up and back. As you exhale, bringing it towards your chest and then between your hands. If you have to scooch it forward, that's perfectly fine. Setting your right knee down. Again, making sure you have your left foot flat on your mat. Your knee is right over your ankle. Option to use your hands for support as you come up, or maybe you come up hands free. If you do have your arms up overhead, making sure your shoulders are away from your ears. Coming back to your breath. hands down, lifting your back knee, stepping your right foot forward to meet your left, folding, pressing firmly into your feet as you slowly roll all the way up to standing. Head up, arms up. Exhale, folding, hinging from our hips, coming all the way back down. Inhale, slowly lifting halfway. And then exhale, folding. Stepping our right foot back this time. Option here, bringing your knee down again, or coming to a high lunge. Again, making sure you have your left foot flat on your mat, knee tracked over your ankle. Maybe you come up hands free to your high lunge. Maybe you use your leg for support. Tuning back into your breath. Shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, hands come down. Stepping your left foot back. Option to come up to a high plank, or you're also welcome to bring your knees down and continue with supported plank. Both are great options. Wherever you're at, we're going to lower all the way down to our bellies. So slowly lowering all the way down, making sure we are pressing firmly into the tops of our feet, fingertips under your shoulders, elbows in. On your next inhale, lift your head and chest off your mat. Maybe you come up just a little further than before. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, tuck your toes, pushing all the way up. Downward facing dog. On your next inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, bring it through. Again, if you have to scooch it forward, totally fine. Option, again, you can have your knee down, or maybe you want to try high lunge, whichever one is working for you today. Knee tracked over ankle, your foot is flat on your mat. Inhale brings you up. Tuning back into your breath. Exhale, hands down. We're going to step it forward, so bringing your left leg to meet your right. Fold. And then slowly rolling all the way up to standing. We're going to pause here in mountain pose, which is where we're at in our standing, making sure we're pressing firmly into our feet. Just taking a moment to tune into your breath. From here, we are going to step our right foot back, coming back to our high lunge, making sure your left knee is tracked over your left ankle. Maybe you are falling out like I just did. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Taking a breath here. And then spinning on the balls of your right foot, your back foot behind you, and turning it out so your toes point forward to the long edge of your mat. Coming into our warrior two feet. So you want to have heel arch alignment. So your front heel is basically right in the middle of where your left foot arch is. You want to bend in to your left knee, making sure you track your knee over your ankle. And then bringing your attention to your core, engage your core muscles. You can leave your hands on your hips if that's a little bit more comfortable for you, or you can bring your arms out to a T. Wherever you're at, we're going to spin our head to look towards our left. If you do have your hands out, you can gaze over your fingertips. Make sure you keep your front leg active so your leg isn't caving in, whether it's out. Make sure your shoulders are down and away from your ears. On your next inhale, we're going to flip our front palm. And then as you exhale, we're going to sweep our fingers up and back, reversing our warrior. Your right hand can either rest on your hips or on your back thigh, whichever is more comfortable for you. Then you'll feel a nice stretch along the left side of your torso. Inhale will bring us up to center, and then as we exhale, we're going to come to extended side angle, bringing our left forearm to our left thigh. Inhale, we're going to bring our right arm straight up. There should be a nice long line here from the top of our head all the way down to the back edge of our right foot, or the outside edge of our right foot rather. From here, you can keep your arm up, or you can bring your arm overhead. So you're making a nice long line again here from your fingertips all the way to your foot. Make sure you have your chest spinning out so it's towards the ceiling, not caving in down towards the ground. You want to have it lifted here, and then tune into your breath. The next inhale brings us back up to our warrior two position. And then next exhale, release your hands, bring your hands to your hips, straighten out your front foot, and then spinning on your heel, bring your toes forward so that your toes are pointing the long edge of your mat. Your feet are out wide, which you can adjust. If it's too wide, you can kind of scoot your feet in a little bit. So just find a position that's comfortable. From here, we're going to bring our hands to our hips. Inhale, we're going to lift up through our chest. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge forward, coming to a wide leg forward fold. If there's too much strain on your legs, you can always bend your knees, bring your hands down, and then just let your head hang here in our wide forward fold. Tuning back into your breath. And then walking your hands over to your left foot, bending your left knee, and then spinning your right foot out so your toes point up. Giving a nice stretch along the inside of your right leg. And then slowly we're going to transition, walking our hands, staying low, walking our hands to our right leg, coming to the back of our mat, spinning our left toes to point towards the ceiling. Again, just taking your time here. We're going to do it one more time. So slowly walk your hands to your left foot as you spin out your right toes towards the ceiling. And then one last time, coming to our right as we spin out our left toes. Tuning into our breath. And then slowly walking our hands forward, spinning on the ball of our back foot, coming to a runner's lunge. So all of our toes are now pointed to the short edge of our mat. We're going to step forward here. So stepping your right foot forward to meet your left, grounding through your feet, so pressing your feet firmly into your mat. We're going to, on our inhale, slowly roll all the way up, coming all the way up to standing. From here, we're going to come to tree pose, doing a little balance, pouring our weight into our left foot. Couple options. So you can start out here, depending on your balance. And of course, you can always have a chair for extra support here if you're not comfortable with standing. So we're spinning out our right foot, bending our knee. You can have your heel right on your left ankle. This is one option. You can stay here. You're still balancing. Or you can choose to slide your foot up a little bit, just making sure you don't bring your foot in where your knee joint is. So either on your thigh, or you can bring it resting it on your calf. Options for your hand, you can either have your hands on your hips, maybe you have your hands together in the center of your chest, or maybe you bring your arms up overhead. Once you've chosen which option works better for you, fix your gaze on a point in front of you that is not moving, and then tune into your breath. Remember to have fun with this. If you fall out, just come right back in. Make sure to keep your right knee spinning out. So don't let it come forward, but rather keeping it back. Just a few more breaths here. And then on your next exhale, slowly bring your hands down. Slowly bring your right foot down. And then going to go ahead and shake out your left foot. And maybe shake out your right a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to transition, do the same thing that we just did, and come back to tree pose on our other foot. So getting started, I'm going to transition on this side so I can be sure to see you. And I'm going to bring, sitting up nice and tall, we're going to step our left foot back, coming back to our high lunge, having our right foot flat on our mat and our knee tracked over our ankle. You can keep your hands on your hips if that's more comfortable for you, or inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Tuning back into our breath here. And then spinning on our back foot, on the ball of our back foot, bringing our toes to the long edge of our mat, having that heel arch alignment again with our feet, so just adjust yourself. You want to have your knee tracked over your ankle here, bending into your right knee. Hands can come to your hips. Engage your core muscles, shoulders are down and back. You can leave your hands on your hips if you'd like, or bringing your arms out to a T. Then we're going to slowly turn our head to look over our right fingertips, tuning back into our breath. Next inhale, flip your front palm, and then as you exhale, sweeping it up and back, reversing your warrior. Feeling a nice stretch along the right side of your torso. Inhale brings you back to center. As you exhale, bringing your right forearm to your right thigh, coming back to our extended side angle. Option to leave your hand up overhead or bring it alongside your head, making that nice long line from your fingertips all the way to your left foot. Tuning back into your breath. Next inhale brings us back to our warrior two. Taking a breath here. And then exhale, bringing our hands to our hips, straightening out our front leg. And then spinning on our heel so that our toes are pointed towards the long edge of our mat, coming back to our wide leg forward fold. Again, you can adjust yourself. Maybe you bring your legs a little bit closer together. From here, inhale lifts you up, shoulders back and down. And then as you exhale, come all the way down. Again, option, you can bend your knees if you're having any straining on the backs of your legs. Letting your head hang heavy here and tuning into your breath. And then slowly walking your hands to your right leg as you bend your right knee, spinning your left foot so that your toes point up towards the ceiling again. And then we'll slowly walk our hands to our left leg as we bend our knee and spin our right toes to point up towards the ceiling. One more time. Coming to our right foot, bending our knee and spinning our toes so that they're pointed up towards the ceiling. Slowly, one last time, coming to our right foot, spinning our left foot, bending our knee and spinning our right toes to point towards the ceiling. Slowly walking back towards your right foot, spinning your left foot so that all toes are pointed to the short edge of your mat, coming to a runner's lunge. On your next inhale, we're going to step forward and then fold. Slowly on your next inhale, rolling all the way up, coming all the way up to standing, and then getting ready for tree. Pouring our weight onto our right foot this time, keeping our foot nice and flat, spinning out our left foot, bending our knee. Again, your option, you could stay right here in your tree. You can have your hands on your hips, down by your sides, up overhead, in the middle of your chest, whichever one works better for you. Option for your feet, you can stay right here. Bring your foot up to your calf or bring your foot up to your thigh, whichever one feels best for you. Just make sure not to have your foot in by your knee. From here, wherever you decided that's working for you, pressing your foot into your leg for stability, keeping your knee turned out, and then fixing your gaze on something that's not moving in front of you, and tuning into your breath. We'll take a couple more breaths here, and then slowly bringing your foot all the way down, releasing your arms. Shaking out your right leg, shaking out your left leg. Maybe you pedal just a little bit here. Transitioning, we're going to come all the way down onto the floor, coming to child's pose, bringing our big toes together and bringing our hips towards our heels, walking our hands out in front of us and resting our torso between our legs, bringing your forehead to your mat, tuning into your breath. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly come up, coming to a tabletop position. If you do have sensitivity for your knees, you can grab your mat or your blanket here. We want to make sure in our tabletop we have our hips in line with our knees, our shoulders in line with our wrists. You can have your toes tucked or untucked. We're going to come to a pose called bird dog. First, we're going to start by extending our right leg straight out behind us, tucking our toes. And then engaging your core muscles here, we're going to lift our left arm up. Now you can stay here with your toes on the ground. If you want to take it a little further, lift your foot up. You can have your toes, your foot flexed or pointed, whichever gives you stability. Then just tune into your breath here. We're going to hold it. Holding the pose, not your breath. We'll take just a few more breaths. Then on your exhale, slowly release your leg down, bringing your hand back in line, and then slowly bringing your leg back in line. We're going to pause here, and then we'll go to the other side. So again, left leg comes behind you. Tuck your toes. Engaging your core, and then lifting your right arm up so that it's straight out in front of you. You could stay here, or you can lift your left leg up. You can have your toes pointed or flexed. And then tune into your breath. On your next exhale, slowly bring your foot back down, slowly bring your hand back down, and then bring your foot in line with your other leg. We're going to slowly transition again, coming all the way down onto our backs, coming to bridge pose. Coming all the way down onto your backs, having your knees bent with your feet flat on the ground. You want to make sure that you can graze your heels with your fingertips. So if you can't, scooch your feet in a little bit closer so that you can. You can also maybe move your shoulders, lifting one side, bringing the shoulders back and down. Pressing firmly into your feet and using your arms for support, we're going to bring our hips straight up to the ceiling here. So on an inhale, lifting up your hips. Tuning into your breath, we're going to hold it for a count of 3, not your breath, but the pose. For 1, 2, and 3, slowly lowering back down. We'll pause here, and then we'll come right back into it. On your next inhale, lifting up, coming back to your breath. 1, 2, 3, lowering all the way down. We just have one more time. On your next inhale, hips come straight up. Coming back to your breath. 1, 2, and 3. Slowly lower down. Now, keeping our legs right where they are, we're going to come to reclined pigeon pose. We're going to bring our left ankle to our right knee, flaring our left knee out. You can stay here, or you can grab hold of your right thigh as you bring your legs towards your chest, making sure you're keeping your feet flexed here and making sure you're keeping your lower back on your mat. Coming back to our breath. And then if you had grabbed hold of your thigh, go ahead and release your hands, and then let your legs go all the way over to your right side, turning this into a small little twist here. You can bring your hands out to a T. Again, if there's any pressure or anything that ever makes you not feel good, of course, always just come right out of it. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly lift our legs back up and then slowly unwind them. We'll pause here and then we'll come to do the other side. On your next inhale, we're going to bring our right ankle to our left knee, flaring out that right knee again. You can stay here with your knee flared out and your ankle on your left knee, or you can grab hold of your left thigh and bring your legs towards your chest. Any amount that feels good, keeping your feet flexed here, making sure your lower back is flat on your mat, not being lifted. And then slowly release your hand if you had it on your thigh. And then drop your legs over to your left. And then slowly on your next inhale, bring your legs back to center. Slowly unwind them. And bring your knees towards your chest. Give them a little hug. Roll all the way over to your right side. Slowly push yourself up. And then bringing your legs out in front of you, coming to staff pose. Sitting up nice and tall with your feet flexed so your toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. Making sure you move the flesh from your sit bones. Inhale, bringing your arms up, hinging from your hips. Exhale, Coming forward, folding over our legs. Maintaining a nice long spine here, so no rounding, trying to reach your toes and rounding. Just staying nice and long, shoulders are back. Resting your hands on the outside of your legs. Coming back to your breath. Maybe you grab your ankles, or maybe you go for a foot grab. You can go ahead and let go of your feet, let your head hang, let your feet flop. And then from here, we're going to transition, slowly rolling up and coming all the way down onto your mat, coming into Savasana. Laying flat on your mat, shoulders away from your ears, spinning your palms so they face up, and then relaxing your forehead, relaxing the muscles around your eyes, relaxing your cheeks, and relaxing your jaw. I'm going to go quiet here to give you space. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And know that I'm going to come and get you when the time is ready. Without making any sudden moves, start taking a deeper breath in. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe you take an overhead stretch. Slowly bringing your knees in towards your chest. Slowly turning all the way over to your right. Using your hands for support. Coming all the way up. Bringing your hands to the center of your chest. Closing your eyes for just a moment. Showing gratitude for yourself, for taking time today to do something good for you. Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Have a wonderful rest of your week and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.